Okay, so we're here and it's Q&A time with Mr. Price. Here he is, my son, David, and he has selected 10 questions out of the many submissions that were received. And so hopefully they're good and they're worth it. And of course, those who get their question read out loud are going to earn Bobcat Bucks in the following week. And without any further ado, why don't we just get right into it? Okay, go ahead.
So the first question is from Eder, who says, what is your favorite?
My favorite what?
Your favorite.
Nothing more than that? No more specifics?
No.
Not favorite movie, song, just what is my favorite?
Yeah.
You're my favorite.
Oh, okay.
All right, next question.
So our next question is from Vincent, who asks, do you have a hobby that you like to do, and how long have you been doing it, / how did you get into it?
I think one of them is repairing old video game systems, especially ones that were popular when I was younger or even before I was younger. And I got into that because I still own some old video game systems, and of course, they break or parts, are damaged and need to be repaired. So I just always wanted to maintain them. I wanted to be able to play them for years to come. So I figured, well, for these old systems, there's no place I can really take it to get it fixed now, because it's 2019 or 2017 or whenever I started. So I'm going to have to kind of learn for myself how to fix these. So I would buy parts online and look up YouTube videos and kind of learn how to do it myself. So I think that's definitely one hobby of mine. I've even just gone and bought old systems that are junk at the flea market and fixed them just to have them working.
So our next question is from Delilah, who asks, what's your favorite memory with your son or favorite time?
The memory that stands out right away when I hear the question is when you and I went to the Billy Joel concert in San Francisco. That to me was just a really, really special day. The fact that you and I used to listen to Billy Joel in the car a lot, and it culminated in us getting to see him live. It was just awesome. I never expected to see him perform live, much less with you. So that was just very, very special to me. So
our next question is from Axel, who asks, do you like memes?
Memes have changed so much over the time that I've been alive. I didn't even really know what a meme was for a long time. I didn't know what that word meant. I remember the first instance of memes that I remember are whenever I would see those inspirational pictures, but they would parody them. It would be an inspirational picture and they'd parody it with some silly phrase in the bottom, and those always cracked me up. And I like a good meme. I like a good meme that's got the right picture that matches clever text that sometimes is ironic or whatever. I think when it's a good joke, good text paired with the right picture, then yes, I do like a good meme.
Next question is from Lizbeth, who asks, why do you like Jaws so much?
I think that I started to like Jaws because when I was younger, and I think a lot of kids, have a fascination with monsters and mythical creatures and things like that. And I think with Jaws, that was a thing where it's based in reality. So when I was younger, I'd be in the school library looking up, looking up books of giant sharks or reading about giant squids or Bigfoot or whatever. Anything that I thought was based on reality, which of course Bigfoot is not, but anything mythical like that fascinated me. In 2000, when I was 10, they released a Jaws 25th anniversary VHS and DVD set, and my mom bought that for me. And it had this documentary about how they made the movie, and I thought it was so fascinating, and that just made me love the movie even more. And so ever since I saw that, I think that just really sort of solidified to me why It's my favorite movie.
Next question is from Nadia, who asked, where would you like to travel and why?
You know, I hate to bring it back to Jaws right away, but for a long time, I mean, there's many places I want to travel, of course. Like, I want to see the Eiffel Tower, and I want to see the Colosseum, and, I want to go to Australia, and this, and all the things that everybody else wants to do, of course. But one trip that I've really wanted to take for a long time is I want to go east on a car trip, and I want to go to Martha's Vineyard, where they filmed Jaws. And I have a book that points out all the locations of where they filmed different parts of the movie. And so I've always wanted to go and just visit it in person, just to see it and to be there. And so that's something I think, might happen in the next couple of years or so.
Mia asks, do you like playing Fortnite?
I've played Fortnite once. I think it lasted probably 45 seconds and was not an experience that I want to revisit. So,
Ashlyn asks, did you ever have a favorite teacher growing up, and what was their grade and their name?
I had a 6th grade teacher named Mrs. Casey, and she was a really, really awesome lady, and she was my one and only 6th grade teacher. I didn't have multiple classes, in 6th grade. That didn't happen until I went to 7th grade. I was Student of the Month in January of that year, and for every Student of the Month, like, she would do something special for them. And she took me and her son to go see the first Lord of the Rings movie in the theater. And she drove us to Fresno to go. She came and picked me up and drove us to Fresno to go see it. And she was such a cool lady, and I've never seen or talked to her since then.
Brenda asks, what kind of music do you listen to? Any artists that have your interest as of now?
I listen to all kinds of music. I mean, I really do. I think most of the music that I listen to, you could probably categorize like somewhere within the classical to alternative rock. I think most of it you could probably classify under that genre. I mean, rock and roll covers so many different artists and subgenres. There's not really an artist right now that I'm stuck on. That happens to me sometimes where I'll listen to an artist and I will literally listen to nothing but that artist for a very, very long time. I would say Kiss, Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne, Billy Joel for sure, REM, Linkin Park, The Killers. Yeah, my interests are pretty wide as far as music is concerned. So yeah.
So Cassandra asks, what was the strangest event that has ever happened in your lifetime?
It has to be the time that I believe I saw a ghost. I mean, basically the story is that when I was around 14, we had those Razor scooters. We were riding around on the road. It was nighttime, and my friend's house was right next door to mine. So we were just hanging out in the street right in front of our houses, and I was just I stopped for a minute, and he had a chain link fence in the front of his yard, and I was kind of leaning up against the fence, and his house, like the bedroom windows were at the front of the house, So I just kind of look over at his bedroom window, and I could see that his curtains were open in his room, and the room was dark. And I could see that his bedroom door was open, and the hallway light was shining through this door and through the window out toward me on the street. And so I just kind of looked just for a second, and then I look and I see this silhouette, like, of a man. I don't see any, like, skin color or hair color, nothing. I see this silhouette walk into the room and shut the door. I see the door shut, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, okay, someone just walked in to his room and shut the door. And then I realized, oh my gosh, the only person inside the house was his mom. And his mom definitely did not match the physical shape of this figure that I saw that definitely looked like a man. And I realized too that his stepdad, who lived there, was gone and was at work. So I stopped, and it took me a second, and I went, like everything came together in my head. Him and his sister, my friends, they told me that they had like weird experiences in that house. And I didn't really like believe him. I didn't want to, you know? So that happened, and I went, whoa. And I said, dude, I just saw a guy walk into your room and close the door. And he goes, what? I said, oh, look. I go, look at your window. Your door is closed. I just saw a guy walk in there. So, you know, we go in to the house, and his mom was on like the other side of the house where the living room was. And we tell her, and she's like, oh, you guys are just messing around. Oh, you guys are just being goofy. And I'm telling her, no, I swear to you, I saw someone walk into his room. So we go down the hallway, and I remember that like they had this Mickey Mouse telephone. You know, it was like it was this big home phone, and she grabbed it like that was the weapon. Like she was gonna use this Mickey Mouse phone to knock this dude out who was in the room or whatever. We go back down that hallway, man, and the door's closed. We get to the door and it's closed, just like I said. And we open the door, and I'm like, okay, like we're about to see a ghost or a guy that's broken into this room right now or something. We open the door, nothing. And I had heard all kinds of weird stuff about that house, even from people that lived there after that family moved away. But that was my one experience, and I think for me that is the only experience I've had that I almost can't explain. All right, everyone, thanks for submitting your questions, and maybe we'll get together to do it again some other time. Again, Bobcat Bucks to those who had their question read out loud. Wait for episode 2 of Q&A with Mr. Price. Mr. Price, David, see ya.